What is if loop? Basically, if loop is a conditional statement that if the condition is true, it performs one function, or else it performs another function. So this is the simplest form to understand if loop. Now let us understand the syntax of if loop. First you need to write if and then your logical condition. Then you will write the statement or the function which you want to implement if the condition is true. And then finally end. So this is how you write simple if statement. Now let me show you the flow chart of if statement. Here first we initialize, then we go for the condition whether it is true or false. If the condition is true, it performs a statement or function and then it will end the program. If the condition is not true or condition is false, it will directly end the program. It is the simplest form of if loop. Here you can add one more conditional. Here you can add another statement or another function if the condition is false. Let us check that syntax. Now here we'll see if the logical condition is true, it performs this statement or function. But if it is not true, then it performs some another statement or task. And for that we need to write else. So else and then statement or function. And then you need to end the program. Here, one tricky thing that you need to remember is in else condition, you should not give any logical condition. You need to give only one logical condition in if statement. If the logic is true, this will happen, else in all other condition, this will happen. So remember that many times many students make this mistake that you write one logical condition in if and you write another logical condition in else. This is not the way. If this is true, this will happen, else in all other condition, this will happen. For example, if you need to give multiple logics, right, multiple logical statement in your program, then you need to go for nested if loop, or we can call it as if else if loop. Let's understand that thing. You need to write if, your logical condition, then followed by the statement, and then you need to write else if. And here you need to provide the logical condition. So this is first logical condition. If this condition is not true, then it will check this condition. Then if it is true, then it will go for this statement. And if this condition is not true, then it will go for else. And then finally the program will end. But remember, whenever you are writing else, you should not provide any logical condition in that line. Let me show you the flow chart for this if loop. Here one more thing I would like to tell you. Here we have used only one else if condition, but if you wish you can use 5 conditions, 10 conditions, n numbers of else if conditions you can use in sequence. Now let us check the flow chart for that n conditions of else if loop. This is the flow chart. We initialize, then it will check condition 1. If the condition is true, then it will run statement 1 or function 1 and then it will end. But if the condition 1 is not true, then it will go for condition number 2. The same thing happens for condition number 2. If it is true, followed by this statement, it will end. And if it is not true, it will jump to the next condition. So you can go up to n condition, and in nth condition if it is true it will go for this statement or function and then it will end, and if it is not true it can directly end, or at that place too you can give any function or statement, right? So this is the flow chart of multiple if loop or nested if loop, or you can call it as if else if loop. Now we'll go for a simple program and then we'll go for more complex program in this video. So stay tuned and stay connected. So now we are going to write the program. But for this program, I don't like this layout. So I'm going to change layout to big editor. So now here our program will be displayed and the command window. If you want to save your preferred layout, it is very simple. For example, this is my preferred layout, right? Then you have to set this layout, then go to layout and then save layout. When you click on save layout, it will ask you to enter the name, give whatever name you want to give and then press OK. Then you can see those names in this layout and you can choose in between. So now we are going to write a program where we'll identify whether you are adult or not. So first I'll write complete program and then I'll explain it to you line by line. So our program is ready. In line number 1, what we are doing? In line number 1, I am asking for the input from the user. Enter the current year. Then in line number 2, I am asking enter your birth year. So here user need to enter the year of their birth. And in D, I am calculating the difference between these two years. And then if the difference is greater than 18, if the condition is true, it will print as you are adult. Else, it will not show anything. So let us try this thing. Run. So it is asking for current year. So it's 2022, right? It's year of your birth. For example, you are born in 2001. So here you can see that it shows you are adult. Now let us run it again. 2022. Your year of birth is suppose 2015. The difference is 7. It does not show anything. So the program directly ends. But there is no else statement. As you can see on the display, if the condition is true, it performs one task, but if the condition is not true, it directly ends. So you can see it is directly ending. Now what we'll do, we'll provide else condition. What if this condition is not true? We want to display something else. So now we'll display something else. So if the condition is true, you are adult. But if the condition is not true, it will display you are not adult. So let's run this thing. 2022, it's the current year of birth is 2015 and it shows you are not adult. Now on the display you can see the categorization of all the age groups, right? So for example, if you want to categorize, if you want to pick from the data that which age group you belong to, then how you will do it? It is very easy using if loop. So now we are going to implement this logic that we want to identify that you belong to which age group, right? So let us do it. So now we are going to modify this program as per our new need. So in that, the condition number 1 is for age ranges from 0 to 1 year, it is categorized as newborn or infant. So for that we'll write if d is greater than 0, but here it should be greater than 0 but less than 1. So you need to provide two conditions over here. So how you provide two conditions? If you write d greater than 0 comma d less than 1, this way it's not going to work. For that you need to provide one more thing. To provide two conditions you need to write and in between. D is greater than 0 and D is less than 1, and in that condition you are newborn. So you are newborn or infant. Else if now we are giving second condition. The second condition is the age range is from 1 to 5. So D is greater than 1 and D is less than 5. Here if you want to consider exit 5 with this age group, then you have to write less than and equal to 5. And that age group is known as toddler. So this is our second condition. Likewise, we will write all other conditions. So let us quickly go through that thing. So here our program is ready. So now I'm going to clear the command window. So command window is clear now, and now we are going to implement this thing. So we'll run the command. So it's asking for current year. So it's 2022. Let's suppose, say, anybody who is born in 2019, right? So we are entering it is 2019, and it says the difference is 3 and it is toddler. So there is additional e over here, so we should remove it, and now we'll run it again, but it gives us the perfect answer. So let us do it again. Okay, so now let's run the program again. uh, Current year is 2022, and now let's suppose somebody who is born in 1991, right? So according to the calculation, that person is adult now, and we should get the exact answer. And yes, our program says you are adult. So this is how you can use this if else if loop conditions, if else if statement conditions, to check, to run your programs. Now let us understand this program line by line. The first line asks for input, user defined input. The second line is also asking for user defined input. In first line we are asking for current year, in second line we are asking for the year of you born. The third line calculates the difference between you born and the current year, and then from fourth line our conditional statements begins. It checks if d is 0 but less than 1. In our last program the difference is 31, so 31 is definitely greater than 0 but it is not less than 1. So this condition is not true, so it will jump to line number 6. It will again check if d is greater than 1. Yes, it is true, but it should be less than or equal to 5. No, it is not true, so it will directly jump to line number 8. Again it will check it is greater than 5 but not less than 13, so it will jump to line number 10. It is definitely greater than 13 but not less than 18, so it will jump again to line number 12, and it says else if the previous all conditions are not true, then display this, and it is displaying that you are adult, right? So this is how you can use this if conditional statement to run, to perform your various logics.